We begin with a worsening rift within the president's family. During Monday's anti-corruption protest of the Iglesia ni Cristo, Senator Imee Marcos accused her brother, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., of drug use.
Bata pa lamang kami ni Bongbong. Alam na ng buong pamilya ang problema sa kanya. Sa totoo lang, mababasa naman ng lahat ang mga testimonya ng aking ama patungkol sa kanyang ugali at gawain. Noon, dahil may tatay pa kami, hindi ko pa siya responsibilidad. Noong tumatanda, ay mas naging nakakabahala. Batid ko na nagdadrag siya. Kinumbinsi ko pa si Bongbong, pakasalan mo na si Lisa. Naisip ko noon, kapag nag-asawa siya, malalagay na sa tahimik at magkakaroon ng direksyon. Ang laki ng pagkakamali ko. Mas lumala ang kanyang pagkalulong sa droga. Silang mag-asawa.
Malacanang firing back, calling the senator's accusations a desperate move.
Ano ang dahilan ng desperadong galawan ni Senator Imee Marcos laban sa sarili niyang kapatid at pati kay First Lady? Kundi makapanira lamang. Walang basihan. Alam natin kung anong motibo niya. Dahil ba maaari ng lumarga ang pag-iimbestiga tungkol sa korupsyon at maaaring tamaan na ang kanyang mga kaalyado. Mga kaalyado sa Senado? Hindi ba siya natutuwa na yung kapatid niya mismo, ang Pangulong Marcos Jr., ang nag-umpisa para imbestigahan ang mga maaanomalyang flood control projects na to? Ang Pangulo ang gustong maglinis ng kalat noong nakaraan. Bakit nagiging hadlang si Senator Imee Marcos? Anong gusto mong patunayan sa mga sinabi mong ganyan? Matagal ng issue to. At napatunayan na to na hindi totoo ang bintang na yan.
The president's son, House Majority Leader Sandro Marcos, also denying Senator Marcos's claims, calling his aunt's statement a web of lies aimed at destabilizing government to advance her own political ambitions. Senator Marcos is a staunch supporter of the Dutertes, former allies of the president, who have since become vocal critics of the administration. Well, prior to that fiery speech by Senator Imee Marcos, a cabinet revamp took place after high-ranking palace officials implicated by resigned lawmaker Zaldico in alleged budget insertions resigned. Katrina Domingo reports.
Resigned out of delicadeza. This is how Malacanang explained the exit of Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin, Budget Secretary Amina Pangandaman, and Presidential Legislative Liaison Office Chief Adrian Bersamin from President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s cabinet. The palace says the president did not order their removal.
Both officials respectfully offered and tendered their resignations out of delicadeza, after their departments were mentioned in allegations related to the flood control anomaly currently under investigation, and in recognition of the responsibility to allow the administration to address the matter appropriately.
Their resignation comes days after former House Appropriations Committee Chair Zaldico accused them of having a hand in the alleged illegal insertion of 100 billion pesos worth of the president's pet projects into the budget, a claim denied by the palace.
Why did it take this long for them to submit their resignations, considering that this issue was last week pa?
Ngayon lang siguro sila nakapag-isip-isip anong kailangan gawin para sa gobyerno at para sa bayan.
The palace adds that the officials' removal from their posts was neither designed to keep them away from public eye, nor limit their obligation to answer queries about their alleged involvement in the so-called Philippines' largest corruption scandal. COHAS also implicated Education Secretary Sonny Angara into the supposed irregularity, but the palace has yet to say if the education chief will also step down from his post. Despite the controversy, Malacanang says that the president remains thankful for Bersamin and Pangandaman's service.
The president conveys his deep appreciation to Executive Secretary Bersamin for his steady leadership at the helm of the Office of the Executive Secretary. The president likewise extends his sincere gratitude to Secretary Pangandaman, whose work at BBM strengthened the government's fiscal management, guided the timely passage of national budgets, and ensured that social programs and frontline services were funded and delivered.
Because of this recent movement in the Marcos Jr. cabinet, Finance Secretary Ralph Recto will now serve as the Executive Secretary. Special Assistant to the President for Investments and Economic Affairs Frederick Go will move to the helm of the Department of Finance, while Budget Undersecretary Rolando Toledo will serve as the officer in charge of the Department of Budget and Management.
Secretary Recto's long record in economic policy making, fiscal legislation, and national planning positions positions him well to oversee the day-to-day operations of government and coordinate the implementation of high-impact programs. Secretary Go has played a central role in advancing investments, strengthening investor confidence, and aligning economic initiatives across agencies. As head of the Budget Preparation and Execution Group, OIC Toledo brings extensive technical expertise in national budgeting, fiscal transparency, and budget execution.
The president has yet to appoint his new presidential chief legal counsel, a post that has been vacated after the demise of Juan Ponce Enrile, while the office of the Special Assistant to the President for Investment and Economic Affairs also remains vacant after Go's transfer to the Department of Finance. Meanwhile, the palace did not give a direct answer as to why former Internal Revenue Commissioner Romeo Lumagi Jr. was removed from his post. Some House lawmakers, however, say the resignations of the three top officials are not enough. The Makabayan bloc says these former officials and their associates must be investigated and prosecuted. Katrina Domingo, ABS-CBN News.
Over 90% of Congress continues to back President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. despite Zaldico's allegations. That's according to House Deputy Speaker Ronaldo Puno. Now, he says House leaders find Co's statements inconsistent and laughable.
I think the part where they said the president asked for it is completely made up. Whether it was made up by the two people or by Zaldico, I cannot say. But to me, it is illogical, impossible, and ridiculous to think that the president would send emissaries to a committee member in Congress to plead for something. Now, if those two individuals were trying to, turn the head of Zaldico to get something that they want, that's another question. So to me, if the meeting really happened, I think the ICI should really investigate it. Because, if you remove the president from that equation, what are you left with? You're left with two executive department officials trying to insert something in the budget, using the name of the president. I'm happy, I'm relieved that there have been resignations that have been accepted, because I think in this era now that we are in, I think the president is correct in trying to ensure that the officials that our people work with are not just innocent of the things that they're being accused of, but should look like or be beyond suspicion. And I think what this story of Zaldico creates is suspicion. And I think that the resignation is good because it it removes that.
Meanwhile, Puno also dismissed accusations by Senator Imee Marcos. The president and some of his family members are involved in the use of illegal drugs.
I was Secretary of Interior and Local Government. We needed to conduct anti-drug campaigns and have programs to arrest, drug lords, drug users, and so on and so forth. There are signs. If what she was saying were true, you would see it in the actions of the president, the first lady. Anytime you see them in public, you will notice that. The president goes out every day. Does he look like he's under the influence of anything? If you're trying to destabilize an organization, you try to be as shocking as possible. Why else would she bring up personal issues